Okay.
Let's move on with the show now. Let's go and talk about the Formula One. 2018 Formula One season it is really.
It's hot enough. I'm loving this season
now, right? At the start,
but it's still that's so horse race usually.
Yeah, I know.
Mercedes and Ferrari.
But
Red Bull just brace up.
With the way it started, though, I mean,
start with Vettel
starting, winning the first two races of the season, and now you thought, okay, Ferrari looks like they're on fire and they're about to run away with the title. Then what has happened since then? Vettel hasn't finished on the podium since then, and now Mercedes have taken over. Lewis Hamilton has taken over and is in the lead now with 17 points, and it's starting to look like, okay, Mercedes, okay, they found their rhythm now, and they're about to go on and dominate. Still, I can assure you there will be more twists and turns before the season ends. We're looking forward to the Monaco Grand Prix now. Monaco, arguably the most celebrated, the most glamorous of the F1 calendar. And everyone is looking at Lewis Hamilton again. And only right, because he's the championship leader and he's the defending champion.
Yeah, I mean, all eyes obviously on him. He loves to drive here. They describe it as, I mean,
basically
spectacular drive. No, it's a spectacular track to actually drive on. He's happy about that. But then another thing is 17 points lead. I mean, 17 points clear of Sebastian Vettel after 5 races. But the thing is, all he needs to do is to try as much as possible, be in the podium. If he did not, like what happened to Sebastian Vettel in the past races, he's in trouble because it's just 17 points clear. And if Sebastian Vettel wins, it's just going to be 2 points.
Incredible. Yeah, so
that's like Sebastian Vettel automatically will just take over.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. It's still the Monaco GP is not going to be decisive in terms of who wins the.
No, I'm not talking about who wins. I'm talking about now and who's going to take over
Sebastian
the lead
Vettel
right
closes the gap. It's not the end of the world. That's not the end of the world. There's still a lot of races that will go down later on. So for Hamilton, I believe he won't want to go from winning the last 2 races to not being on the podium. So that will be his target. If he cannot win it, then he will want to try and get on the podium at the very least. The team with the most issues right now is Ferrari. They have been terrible in the last 2 races, and last time around, I mean, Kimi Raikkonen didn't finish the last one. Sebastian Vettel didn't get on the podium, so it's been a struggle for them after starting on a very promising note.
And we felt because of the way they started, we just assumed and felt, okay, Sebastian Vettel would blow this one. But if you check what happened last year, towards the end of the season, Hamilton already, he knew he had won the race, and then he wasn't even getting close at all. Maybe this time around, he just wasn't finish it early, and also, okay, it's just too early to say, right? Let's hear from him now.
I think we definitely learned a lot from last year, but it's, I think this weekend, I mean, I think we're confident with our preparation. I think it's definitely been better than ever before. We came from the last race knowing that this is going to be one of the tougher of the races for us. If you look at the last race and in the testing in February, and then even in the test the other day, the Red Bulls were particularly quick in the last sector. That's where they're always very, very strong. And so you can imagine that they're going to be incredibly quick here this weekend. I do anticipate it's going to be a difficult weekend, but not one that's impossible, but it's a lot closer. And we may not have the pace of the others, but we'll find out, I guess, tomorrow, the true pace and identity of what we arrive here with.
As the way it is, I mean, he will just be ready. He understands it's going to be a very, very tough weekend. Of course, today when the first practice session starts, we'll see how fast all of them will go. But then Sebastian Vettel, he knows what to do. Lewis Hamilton, of course, he knows what to do to ensure that that gap is either closed or there's a big white.
Interesting. For Lewis Hamilton, I mean, he looks like he's a very focused guy right now. On the tracks, especially with his last 2 performances. But there's still a big question mark on his future. Remember, he hasn't signed that extension. And people are, I mean, Formula One pundits and fans alike are starting to wonder, does this guy want to stay with Mercedes, or does he really want to go and team up with someone else. And people are actually thinking about Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton on the same team.
Then
that's going to be chaos.
Then all the constructors will just forget about it.
So
I just know that when you're starting the season, it's going to be all about Ferrari.
Yeah, but what about the Drivers' Championship
I
itself?
understand, but it's difficult. I mean, when you have these two guys, I think it's going to be hell.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's
That's
even
my
think
point
about
exactly. It's going to be very chaotic because these guys are used to being the number one
rivals
drivers in their teams. And all of a sudden now they want to contest for one title. That'll be very chaotic. I can imagine. I will see how that pans out. I'll continue to monitor the future of Lewis Hamilton. We need to go on a break now. We'll come back. We'll be giving you more updates from the Channels International Kids Cup Day 4.